Thank you all for being here. And we're gonna actually show you a little bit of what is actually put in front of students and how it's impacting students. My name is Rajen Sheth. I'm the CEO of Kyron Learning. And really what we're trying to do is how do we make online learning a more engaging experience, and in particular, reimagine courses around conversation. We all know that conversation is such a key element of learning, but it's very hard to do at scale, especially in an online setting. Can we make it such that that can be done at scale, and every student can have conversation that can lead them to conceptual understanding? We have a platform for conversational video, where essentially think of it as a video that you can talk to, a two-way video, where we teach a little bit, we ask the student a probing question, and we can converse with the student to get them to a level of understanding. We've been very fortunate to partner with Michelle and the Miami-Dade team because they're one of the most innovative universities that are out there in colleges to try to figure out how they can actually reach more students with their offerings and how to use AI to do so. So I'll turn it over to Michelle to tell you more.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. And I'm happy to be sharing a wonderful experience with Kyron, our new partnership. I'm Michelle Stefano. I'm the Director of Learning Experience at Miami-Dade College. I oversee all of the instructional designers. Before I get started into our partnership, I'm just going to give you a little bit of background of Miami-Dade College and who we are. Miami-Dade College is in Miami, Florida. We're in the heart of the city. We're a beacon of the community. We have a huge institution, one of the largest institutions of higher learning in the United States. Our college awards both baccalaureate, associates, and professional certifications. We have about 6,000 employees at the college, and we have about 150,000 students and taking courses at any given time. So it's a large part of our community, and it touches a lot of lives. A little bit about our student body. We have about a 40% Hispanic rate at our college. Our faculty and our students are both extremely diverse. We have many students that are first-generation college students coming to the United States for the first time and attending college. We're a great feeder school for not only dual enrollment students, but also students that are coming to the US to experience their first educational experience. So Miami-Dade College is big on AI. We have an AI center. We have a strategic goal that's focused on AI. We have our QEP that's also focused on AI. My job is to help push along the quality enhancement plan. For those of you that are not in higher ed, our quality enhancement plan is part of our reaffirmation or reaccreditation process with SACS, our accrediting body. And my job is to implement AI like Kyron into our online courses. So we've had a lot of great experience. The product is not only for faculty, but also for students. Our student body, again, as I mentioned, is very diverse. They're from all walks of life, from all ages. We have a lot of high school students that take our classes as well. So we're touching a lot of different age groups in our community. So what we've initiated at the MDC Online, which is where I work, is the AI Enhancement Course Initiative with the help of Kyron. That's showing us the pathway on how to do that. So on the slide, you'll see a couple of things, but what I want you to focus on is the bottom part of the slide. It's a little clip of what our registration portal looks like for students. So now that we've partnered with Kyron, we're actually labeling our courses or designating them with an AI enhancement designation, which is really cool because when students go to register, they'll have a choice of what they want to take. Another thing I'd like to mention is that this product is both for students and faculty. Students and faculty are working with the AI in a productive and educationally sound format. It makes creating instructional materials for faculty incredibly easy and efficient, as well as increase the student engagement. So there's a lot of AI products. I don't have to tell you, we're sitting in an AI conference. So we're very picky about what we choose for our college. As a matter of fact, I think our president is also here at the summit, and she's speaking a little later. So our primary goal is to, number one, increase student engagement. Number two, make sure the faculty have the resources and the tools that they need to be successful. And number three, we want to make sure that our students are work ready. When they graduate, again, a lot of first generation college students, when they graduate Miami-Dade College, we want them to go right into the workplace knowing how to interact with AI productively. We all interact with AI. We play games. We use face face recognition, so we're all using it all the time. But students maybe are not aware that they're using, so this is a product that they can get awareness of how to productively use AI. So again, just a brief kind of recap of the 3 major goals of our initiative at Miami-Dade College. And thanks to Kyron and its wonderful, product, and also the analytics are amazing. They're very deep, they're very detailed, and it's a lot as a professor myself, when I look at the data, I know exactly what each one of my students needs. So the students' needs are all different. They're coming from all walks of life with language proficiency, economic background, social background. So the product is adaptable to that form of learning. So I want to turn now to our faculty champion. If you work in a university, you have one of these guys hanging around. These are the guys that go out, talk to the faculty, participate. He's in every single meeting we have. He doesn't, he's a professor. When you think of professors, they're not really involved in these sort of administrative things, but Victor he's been at Miami-Dade College for 18 years. He's a full-time faculty member, and he teaches in all modalities. He teaches at least 12 sections of English composition a year. Sometimes he'll pick up more than that. And as a former English teacher, that's a lot of grading. So AI as a teacher helps me give student not only written feedback, because English professors like to mark up. We used to mark it up in red pen, now we just mark it up on the speed grader and Canvas. But now the students have interactive feedback with Kyron as well. And the professors can tailor-make their instructional materials to meet, have that feedback, take that feedback into account. So if you're not familiar with college or you haven't been in college for a while, remember our first composition course, ENC 1101, it used to be called freshman comp, now it's called first year comp. So it's basically the entrance course for many students in college. It's probably the most important course that they take because it is the one that shows them how to communicate. And now we're gonna take a look at the product. I'll send it over to Rajen.
All right, so I'm going to show you what the experience looks like. And before I do that, I want to tell you there are 3 parts of the product. One is that we have a way to build these videos, and so what you're able to do is put in your learning objectives, any of your additional material, and we'll generate one of these AI conversational videos for you, including generating the video itself, and you'll see what that looks like. The second part is then the student experience. So you'll see how the student actually gets to talk to the product and be able to take the conversation to where they want to go. And then the third, as Michelle pointed out, is the analytics. We're actually able to look at that conversation and figure out what misconceptions that student has and be able to bring that back to the instructor to give them a much better idea of what they can do to help that student in a lot of depth. And so I'll show you what this looks like and what we created together with Miami-Dade. So as we're pulling this up, I'll give you an idea of kind of what you're about to see. So what you're going to see is that effectively we wanted to create something where we can help a student learn about a thesis statement, how to use a thesis statement. And so that is essentially kind of what we've created here. The person in the video is actually an AI avatar, and so you'll see kind of how that operates.
Sociology professor has asked you to write a paper about the impact of social media on relationships. Craft a thesis statement that is debatable, specific, and can guide a well-structured essay.
That's completely okay. Crafting a thesis statement can seem daunting at first, but it's a crucial part of your essay. Let's start with the basics. A thesis statement serves as the backbone of your essay, setting up the main idea and guiding your argumentation. Can you think of a broad argument or perspective on how social media impacts relationships? That's a great start. You've identified a debatable perspective that social media, despite its benefits for long-distance communication, may harm the quality of relationships due to the lack of face-to-face interaction. This argument can definitely be supported or opposed with evidence. Now, can you think of ways to make this thesis statement more specific, focusing on particular aspects of how social media impacts relationships?
All right, so to give you an idea of what you just saw, we first start by turning kind of the concept of the chatbot on its head. I think one of the key things that we've realized is that students often don't have a question. And so how do we make it so that we're asking the right probing questions so that they get to understanding? And so we figured out a particular question. What that also lets us do is make the AI a lot more safe, because we can kind of guardrail it and make sure that the student is on task. The second thing that you saw is that we've trained that AI to really be a strong teacher. And we've used learning science to try to figure out the right things for the AI to say and the right teaching moves to put in at the right time. And so they're able to support the student wherever they take that student. And then what you saw there with the conversation, we then analyze and actually bring to misconceptions. So I'll turn it back over to Michelle to talk about the faculty view.
So now we're going to hear a little bit about, Professor Victor Calderon.
Yeah, many of our students in Miami are working. They come from different economic situations, so they have different labor structures. So many of our students do the work like in the evening or late afternoon. Our goal really is to kind of grow the interactions with our students. So we're using these enhancements really to hope that the students will interact more with the course. More engagement and more interaction leads to more student success. What I like about the enhancement that's been created is that we have different types of examples that really kind of get the student to engage and think about, how to structure it. And they can have that conversation with the program to kind of deepen their understanding of it. I feel good about it. I think it's going to be very interesting. I really look forward to seeing what they kind of produce and what they say on their end. I think it was interesting. I was really impressed how fluid it felt when I was watching, the AI.
So there's a lot more to that, but we had to make it, for our time slot today. So now we can forecast a little bit. So Victor's still our faculty champion. He's still teaching. We've rolled out ENC 1101 in our oceanography course, spring B, and now in the summer. And then in the fall term, we're looking forward to implementing it in our intro to psychology class, in our computer science class, our first computer science class, CGS 1060, as well as our second English requirement, which is our ENC 1102. So we're really excited, and I can't imagine why our partnership wouldn't continue to flourish. And I'm positive that the SACS reaffirmation team is going to be very impressed with what we've done with the online courses.
And just to round it out, I think we've been very, very fortunate to partner with a great college, with Miami-Dade. And what it's really done is make it so that we can actually figure out how we can carve this to be something that really drives student success and drives student engagement. We're seeing great results to start off with, and there's so much more that we can do. Our mission as a company is to figure out how do we foster equitable access to high-quality learning. And I think the Miami-Dade environment is a great atmosphere to be able to do this and reach students that otherwise wouldn't be reached by education. And so looking forward to all that we can do and partnering with many other universities to do the same.
And just to add to that, it really addresses the issue of diversity. You can choose the avatars you'd like to use with your students, and I'm sure in the future we'll have even more selection, but I'm big into creating inclusive learning environments for all learners, and this is really a great way to start because it tailor makes the conversation, the assignments, the assessments to meet the needs of the students. So really cool stuff.
Hey, thank you all.